Imagine creating a real, physical object not by cutting, drilling, or casting material, but by building it layer by layer directly from digital data, which is exactly what 3D printing, also known as additive manufacturing, does. Unlike traditional manufacturing methods, which remove material from a solid block, 3D printing works in the opposite way. Material is added only where needed. This fundamental difference changes everything. It allows the creation of shapes that would be impossible, or extremely expensive, to produce using conventional techniques, such as internal channels, lattice structures, or highly optimized geometries. The entire process starts with a digital model. This model is created using CAD software, where engineers or designers define the exact shape, dimensions, and details of the object. At this stage, the object exists only as data. Before printing, this model must be prepared. It is converted into a format that the printer can understand and then processed using slicing software. Slicing is a critical step. The software takes the 3D model and divides it into hundreds or thousands of thin horizontal layers. Each layer represents a cross-section of the object. The software then generates a set of instructions, often called G-code, which tells the printer exactly how to move, where to deposit material, how fast to operate, and at what temperature. This is essentially the blueprint for the printer. Once the instructions are ready, the printer begins building the object from the bottom up. Each layer is created on top of the previous one, gradually forming the complete shape. What makes this process powerful is its flexibility. You can modify the design digitally and immediately produce a new version without changing any physical tools or molds. This is why 3D printing is widely used for prototyping and rapid development. It drastically reduces the time between design and production. 3D printing is therefore not just a machine. It is a complete digital manufacturing workflow that connects design, data, and physical production into one seamless process. Once the digital model has been sliced and converted into machine instructions, the process shifts from data to physics, where the printer must precisely translate those instructions into controlled movement, material flow, and thermal conditions that allow a solid object to form layer by layer. If you like similar educational content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. The most widely used method of 3D printing is filament-based extrusion, often referred to as FDM or FFF, where a thermoplastic filament is fed into a heated print head. This filament is typically made of materials such as PLA, ABS, PETG, or engineering-grade polymers, each with different mechanical and thermal properties. The filament is pushed into the hot end, where it is heated to a semi-liquid state, just enough to flow but still retain the ability to solidify quickly once deposited. The molten material is then forced through a very fine nozzle, often with a diameter of 0.2 to 0.4 millimeters, and deposited onto a build surface in precise paths defined by the slicing software. At the same time, the printer must move with extremely high precision. This is achieved through a motion system consisting of stepper motors, belts, lead screws, and linear guides, which control movement along 3 axes. The print head typically moves in the X and Y directions, while either the build plate or the print head moves in the Z direction to create new layers. Each movement must be synchronized with material extrusion. If the printer moves too fast or too slow, relative to the extrusion rate, the printed lines will either be too thin, too thick, or inconsistent, which directly affects the quality and strength of the object. Temperature control is equally critical. If the material is too cold, it will not bond properly with previous layers. If it is too hot, it may deform, sag, or lose dimensional accuracy. The build plate is often heated as well, which helps prevent warping and improves adhesion of the first layer, one of the most important steps in the entire process. Cooling also plays a key role. After deposition, the material must solidify quickly enough to hold its shape, but not so fast that it creates internal stresses or weak bonding between layers. Fans are often used to control this cooling process. The result of all these coordinated systems is the formation of thin, stacked layers that gradually build into a 3-dimensional object. Although each individual layer is very small, often fractions of a millimeter in height, together they define the entire geometry of the part. This stage is where precision engineering meets material science, and even small variations in movement, temperature, or flow can have a significant impact on the final result. While filament extrusion is the most familiar form of 3D printing, it represents only one branch of a much broader set of technologies that all share the same core idea: building objects layer by layer, but differ fundamentally in how material is processed, how layers are formed, and what level of precision and performance can be achieved. One major category is resin-based printing, commonly known as SLA or DLP. In this process, instead of melting solid material, a liquid photopolymer resin is selectively hardened using light, typically ultraviolet. A build platform is submerged in a vat of liquid resin, and light is projected in the exact shape of each layer. Where the light hits, the resin cures and solidifies. Layer by layer, the object is gradually pulled out of the liquid. This method allows for extremely high resolution and very smooth surfaces, making it ideal for applications such as dental models, jewelry, miniatures, and precision components. However, the materials are generally more brittle and require post-processing, including washing and additional curing. Another major category is powder-based printing, such as SLS for plastics or DMLS for metals. In these systems, a thin layer of powder is spread across a build platform, and a high-energy laser selectively fuses or sinters the material according to the layer geometry. Once a layer is completed, a new layer of powder is spread on top, and the process repeats. Because the surrounding powder supports the structure during printing, these systems can produce highly complex geometries without the need for additional support structures. Metal 3D printing in particular is extremely powerful. It allows the creation of high-strength, functional components used in aerospace, automotive engineering, and medical implants. However, it requires expensive equipment, controlled environments, and precise process control. Each technology comes with trade-offs. Filament printing is affordable and versatile, but limited in surface quality and precision. Resin printing offers high detail, but weaker materials. Powder-based systems provide industrial-grade performance, but at significantly higher cost and complexity. What unites all these technologies is the layer-by-layer approach, but the choice of method depends entirely on the required properties, precision, and application of the final part. 3D printing is therefore not a single technology, but a family of manufacturing processes, each optimized for different use cases. Although 3D printing is extremely powerful and flexible, it is not a perfect manufacturing method, because the way objects are built layer by layer introduces unique mechanical, structural, and dimensional limitations that must be understood to use the technology effectively. One of the most important factors is anisotropy, meaning that the strength of a 3D printed part is not the same in all directions. Because the object is made from stacked layers, the bonding between layers is typically weaker than the material within a single layer. This means that a part may be strong when forces are applied along the layers, but significantly weaker when forces act perpendicular to them. This has major implications for design. Engineers must carefully orient parts during printing to align the strongest directions with expected loads. Another limitation is surface quality. Since the object is built from discrete layers, the surface often has a visible layered texture, especially at lower resolutions. This can affect both aesthetics and functionality, particularly in parts that require smooth contact surfaces or tight tolerances. To address this, post-processing methods such as sanding, polishing, chemical smoothing, or machining are often required. Dimensional accuracy is also influenced by multiple factors, including thermal expansion, cooling rates, and machine calibration. As material is deposited and cools, it can shrink or warp, especially in larger parts, which may lead to deviations from the intended geometry. Support structures are another important aspect. When printing overhangs or complex geometries, temporary support material is often required to prevent collapse during printing. These supports must later be removed, which adds time and may affect surface finish. Speed is another constraint. While 3D printing is excellent for prototyping and small batches, It is generally slower than traditional mass production methods such as injection molding or CNC machining when producing large quantities of identical parts. Material limitations also play a role. Although the range of printable materials is expanding, not all materials or material properties available in traditional manufacturing can yet be replicated with 3D printing. Despite these limitations, the advantages often outweigh the drawbacks in many use cases. The ability to produce complex geometries, customize designs, and eliminate tooling makes 3D printing uniquely valuable. Understanding its limitations is therefore not a weakness, but a key to using it effectively in real-world applications. Once you understand how 3D printing works and what its strengths and limitations are, it becomes clear why this technology is rapidly transforming entire industries, not just as a new manufacturing tool, but as a fundamentally different way of thinking about design, production, and supply chains. One of the biggest advantages is the ability to produce highly complex geometries without additional cost. In traditional manufacturing, complexity is expensive. In 3D printing, complexity is often free because the printer simply follows digital instructions regardless of how complicated the shape is. This enables designs such as internal cooling channels, lightweight lattice structures, and topology-optimized components that reduce weight while maintaining strength. This is particularly important in industries like aerospace, where reducing weight directly improves efficiency and performance. In fact, companies like SpaceX and General Electric actively use 3D printing to produce advanced components, such as rocket engine parts and fuel nozzles, which would be extremely difficult or impossible to manufacture using traditional methods. In medicine, 3D printing enables mass customization, meaning products can be tailored to individual patients. This includes dental implants, prosthetics, and even surgical guides that match the exact anatomy of a person. Unlike traditional manufacturing, where customization increases cost, 3D printing allows customization without significant changes in production setup. Another major impact is in rapid prototyping. Engineers can design, print, test, and modify parts within hours or days instead of weeks or months, dramatically accelerating innovation cycles. This is one of the key reasons why 3D printing is widely used in product development. Beyond prototyping, 3D printing is increasingly used for low-volume production, especially for specialized or high-value parts where traditional tooling would be too expensive. It also enables on-demand manufacturing, where parts are produced only when needed, reducing the need for large inventories and simplifying logistics. This has implications for global supply chains. Instead of transporting physical products across long distances, digital files can be sent and parts produced locally, reducing transportation costs and delays. Looking into the future, 3D printing is expected to evolve further with new materials, faster printing speeds, and integration with artificial intelligence. Generative design algorithms can already create optimized structures that are then directly printed, pushing the boundaries of what is possible in engineering. There is also ongoing research into printing with advanced materials, including composites, multi-material systems, and even biological materials. In the long term, 3D printing could shift manufacturing from centralized factories to more distributed, flexible production systems, where products are made closer to where they are needed. 3D printing is therefore not just a tool. It is a paradigm shift in manufacturing, combining digital design, material science, and automation into a single process that has the potential to redefine how products are created and delivered.